Hi, this is Dr. McClellan, and this video is about the formal report assignment. So what I'm going to do is go through the content, the goal, the content, and then the format instructions, and then I'm going to pull up my document um, in my blank document in my other documents and go through it. Now, I'm not going to do every single thing on this formal report. Some of this you're going to have to do, you're going to have to do without my example. Okay, so the goal of this assignment is to produce a long formal report, and it's based on the previous unit's short reports. So it's a continuation of your short reports, but with more detail and new information. So you're going to compose a formal report with an explanation of the data collected. You will need to copy and paste parts of your short report into your long report. It has three main sections: the front matter, the body, and the back matter. And each main section requires specific subsections. So there are subsections in the front matter, in the body, and in the back matter. And they're treated differently. So in the subsections in the front matter, each subsection belongs on its own page. The subsections in the body are not formatted on their own page, but they continue from one page to another. So you may have two on one page. And then the back matter is formatted with its own page, each section with its own page. You do use subheadings on all three sections of this type of report. Front matter and back matter is paginated with lowercase Roman numerals in the bottom middle of the footer. You're going to need to YouTube how to do this on your computer using your word processing program. And then the report's body is paginated with Arabic numbers starting with the upper right hand corner of the header. And of course, we're going to type dark ink on light background, Times New Roman or size 10 or 12, or Arial size 10 or 12. Please don't use a template. All right, so let's get into the format instructions. So your first section, I'll get my document over here, and I'm gonna okay. so your first section is the front matter, and the very first document in the front matter is your letter of transmittal, and you copy and paste this from your proposal. So you would literally copy and paste your proposal there. Now you're going to revise the memo format into a business letter. So here's my sender. I think I am more than double spaced here. Let me check it. Yeah, that's what I thought. There we go. That's better. My date line. And then here's my receiver's address. And remember, you're using my information. Okay. Oh, I know why it looks like that. I've got it. Watch. Let me put it on 100%. See, that looks better. I've got it up on 135% so you can see better. Oh, back off. There we go. So that's why it looks like it does. All right, let's review. So there's my sender's address. There's my date line. There's my receiver's address. Here's my professional greeting. And then I have 3 body texts. Okay, include all the sections. Oh, include all the sections of a business letter from letterhead to signature block. You don't need an enclosure line. You're not enclosing anything in this letter. You're actually enclosing the letter in something itself. All right, so state your purpose in your first text block. So here's my purpose. I even say the purpose. The results of your experiments. So I need to go to my lab report. So this is the part that you have to type. Oh, maybe not. No, just copy and paste it from the first section of your lab report. There we go. Paste. All right, cool. Okay, state your purpose, state the results of your experiments in your second block, and what brand you recommend. And so this is the part. Okay. Actually, let me rewrite that. I think I told John. I realize these are all in first person, but you want to stay away from it as much as possible and focus on the brands. So y'all know I'm the queen of copy and paste, right? Okay, so here's my purpose, background and purpose. Here are my results from my lab report, and then this is my recommendation, which I had to type. And notice I said it without saying I. So the Uniball Signo UN151 is the brand this report recommends the company purchase for the rest of this fiscal year. And then I need, no, don't include your pictures in this. You'll have them later. What did I forget? Oh, more information. So here's my last one. I have too many text blocks. Hold on. First text block. First text block. Oh, third text block. Oh, last text block. Oh, okay. That's 4. Sorry. Sorry. I've been sick lately and I'm not reading real well. Okay. Please contact me if you need more information. So the reason I put my email down here, and it's a live hyperlink, is because I want my audience to be able to just click on it to contact me. So this is what I told some of y'all, you know, you were welcome to if you wanted to. So I always do my, before I figured out how to save a document as a PDF and sign the PDF, I just type in using Lucinda handwriting or any handwriting font as long as it's legible. All right, so that's all we need. We don't need an enclosure line. I'm going to go ahead and come up here and click Save As, and I'm going to put it in my folder there, and I'm going to call it Report Exam. There we go. All right, so quick review. Sender's address, and you guys don't have to use a correct address for class. Date line, receiver's address. Oh, I forgot one. There we go. So there's the position of that person, not just the office they work in. I think no, that's right. Okay. Professional salutation, and then 4 blocks, 4 text blocks. The first one establishes the purpose, the results in the second one, your recommendation in the third one, and then in the last one, how to contact me if you have more questions, and then my signature block, no enclosure line because I don't need it. Now, this should take up just 1 page. That's all it should take up. Okay, I'm going to insert a page break to bring me down here to the next one. And this is my title page. Most title pages are formatted with it in the center. So I'm going to center that, and also usually about halfway down. Okay, so name of the writer or author. Unlike an essay, a long report doesn't typically have a title. So here's my fake writer, Jane Doe. Again, the date and the name of the firm or individual. So firm or individual. Use my name for this. All right, so the next page is the abstract, and I'm going to insert a page break. Be sure you put everything back on the left margin. And the next thing you need is an abstract. So this is your next section. And it can be copied and pasted from your proposal and your progress report. So I need a text block. Oh, I do need to be in the middle. Hold on. I need a subtitle or a subheading. You can call them either one. So I need a text block with 2 or 3 sentences stating the purpose, the results of the experiments, and what brand of your product you recommend your company buy. So I'm going to go back to my proposal, purpose, oh, now how did I manage to do that? Oh, I see what I did. Never mind. Sorry. Okay. The second text block, 2 or 3 sentences. Yeah, that's a couple of sentences. Results. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go up here and I'm just going to copy and paste part of my letter of transmittal. That works. Now, you only need, okay, start with a text block of 2 or 3 sentences. And I have to get all of this in here. So I'm going to take this first sentence out. Tested. Okay, that's one sentence. And that's one sentence. So there's 3 sentences. 2 or 3 sentences. I've stated my purpose, the results of my experiments, and the brand that I recommend the company buy. Okay, and I need to make sure that, oh, hold on, undo. Okay, don't put too many blank lines under your abstract subtitle. So, well, why, I can probably hear you thinking to yourself right now, why is it so repetitive? It's repetitive because all of the documents that you've done in this class, whether you realized it or not, all of the documents in this class are modular documents. They're modular. And that means that one person may read the letter of transmittal and never see the rest of the document. One person may read the abstract and never see the letter of transmittal. One person may look at the financial information and never look at anything else. Now, there are people who will be required by their job to read the entire document, but that's not true for everybody. Because always but go back and read. For the simple reason, not everybody needs to know that information. Okay? Hold on, let me check that, did I? Okay, I just didn't copy and paste it exactly. Okay, so that's the abstract. And then you need a table of contents and list of illustrations. Now you don't have enough information yet. So let me do page break. And I'm going to make this big. Now, like I said, you're going to need to see how to do this on your computer or, on what you're using for your table of contents. I'm going to go ahead and add my table of contents. I actually like that one. I am. But I'm going to make this black. And I'm not going to bold it. And of course, I'm going to put it back down on size 12. Now, this says no table contents entries found. That's because I haven't put anything on here yet. So in Word, I would let me show you how to. I'm going to show you how to do it one time. So see where it says abstract. I need to, and this is Word. on my computer, not Word Online, I would need to come in and give it the designation, the format designation here as heading 1. And again, I'm going to have to put it in the middle, and I'm going to have to reformat all this. I think I'm using Arial. I tell you what, let me select all and go down to Arial and no boldface and size 12. And then, sorry, if I come down here and I tell it to update the table, it puts my abstract in. So I don't want you to type your table of contents. I want you to enter your table of contents. And you'll notice I moved everything down a little bit because it was just too close to the subheading. Also notice that I am not double spacing my text blocks. You don't want to double space it. I mean, if you feel like it's just way too close, especially if you have short documents like we do, you can do like a 1.5 or, excuse me, or where is it, a 1.15. But you typically, it's all right if you have a lot of blank space right there. All right, so let's see. Insert, page break. When you insert, if you decide to insert your page breaks, be sure that your cursor is always at the top of the next page. All right, I need my instructions now. So you're going to list each item by subheadings along with the page numbers where they are located. You are going to list so you're going to have a list of illustrations also. And they are going to be, no, I need to, oh, there we go. Let me make this big again. References. And oh, I tell you what. There it is, table of figures. Okay, so as I put those in there, they will, and I update my table, they will be there. Now, you can put both of, on your table of contents, you can put both of them on the same page, but I prefer that everybody put theirs on separate pages because I just like to break it up, because some people in a long report that you would do for an actual company, you want to put your table of illustrations on its own page because you may have a lot more illustrations. You may have 2 or 3 pages of illustrations depending on how technical your document is. All right. So the second section is the body of your report. This one does not, each subsection does not start on its own page. So the first one is, oh, and don't forget, so your introduction is the first section, and its subsection is new information that you can research on your brand's website, other websites, and Wikipedia. And what you're doing is introducing your brands. So here's introduction. And you can continue to put everything in the middle, or for this one, you can put it off to the left side. It never goes on the right. I like to keep it in the middle for consistency's sake. All right, so this is all brand new information. And you're going to introduce your 3 brands with historical information of each product and each brand's company. So, for example, I need to know the history of gel pens. I would probably find that maybe on Wikipedia, but I could definitely Google it and find out what I need to know. And then the next thing that you need is historical information about each of your brands, and then include pictures of each company's logos. So I'm going to copy and paste this because I'm not doing that part. So I'm going to bring this over here, put it back on the left. So the first text block is about the product. The second, third, and fourth text block is about your brands. And then your fourth text block isn't a text block, it's an instruction. So this is where you're going to go and copy each of your pictures with each text block about your brand. And I hope you're able to copy and paste your captions easier than I am. Mine have been giving me a fit. Okay, that's better than it has been. I have to do, it's not on the, because it's not on the figure. It's actually separate from it. So I have to do mine separately. And then my last one. There. So, and as you're doing this, look at your spacing. This is not a long document. Feel free to use a little bit of freedom in your spacing. The big thing you want to do is make sure that everything's not all jumbled up together for your reader. All right. So that's the introduction. So now we've got the background, and these can be copied and pasted. So let me come down here. And put my new subheading. If you're not familiar with what I just did, I'm using the format painter to make this text look like that text. Okay. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go back to the left margin. All right. State your purpose in your first text block. So I'm taking this from my proposal. State the financial scope in your second text block. So where's our financial at? So there's our financial progress report. And I just want to state the financial scope, which means, so scope means, well, let me copy and paste it, and it'll give me something to look at when I talk about it. Now see how this runs into each other? I'm going to go ahead and insert a page break here because I don't want this to start at the bottom of the page. Okay. So this is from my progress report, my financial progress report. And what I'm just saying, I'm just giving the information of the financial scope. In other words, how much does each brand cost at each of the 3 stores I looked at to buy it at. And then the third one is state your primary research in your third research scope in your third text block. So I want my lab report, and I want to come down to that very first copy, that very first text block in my lab report, and I'm going to copy it there. So this is the scope here. So here's my purpose, my background. Here is the scope that I looked at, the financial end of it, how much it's going to cost, where it's going to cost that. And I did pick 3 different stores or purchase places. And then this third text block is my primary research scope. So these are the 3 areas. These are the 3 areas that I researched. And I need to look at this because, see, this state your primary research scope in your third text block. I'm not supposed to make a recommendation. So I need to take any recommendations out. You're just stating information at this point. We're not making a recommendation yet. All right, then the next section is our discussion section. So we're going to go back to the middle. You can also, a lot of people like to go in and do the subtitles or subheadings. You can call it either one. As all capitals, that's fine with me. Whatever your particular, whatever you like is fine with me. But it does need to be just plain black ink on a white background. And we're going to reformat these in a little while, so, and you'll see. Okay, so we're doing the discussion. State the cost per unit information from the financial progress report in your first text block. So I need my financial progress report, and that is what I just copied and pasted. Include the cost per unit table. So this is how it becomes a discussion. So I'm going to copy the whole thing into my document. Oh, why didn't y'all tell me I had a misspelled word there? Okay. Include the charts. So you're going to include all of them. Be sure that you include the sentence before the chart itself. Let me get that in there. Paste. So the sentence before that introduces your chart, then the chart, and then also the caption. You want the whole thing. Okay, so in the interest of time, because this is going to be a gosh awful long video to start with, I went ahead and I stopped the video and I stopped recording, and I went in and I did what I needed to do. Okay, so in the discussion section, state the cost per unit information from the financial progress report in your first text block. Include the cost per unit table and charts from the financial progress report in your discussion. So here is my cost per unit information. I'm sorry. All right, let's try that again. be sure, this is why I always tell students, be sure you read the assignment instructions while you're watching the video, because just watching me do it, I make mistakes. I'm awesome, not perfect. All right, state the cost per unit information from the financial progress report in your first text block. So this is this information here. Then include the cost per unit table and the charts, also from the financial progress report in your discussion. So here's my table. Hold on. There we go. So there's my table with all of my information on it. And then this is the beginning of my charts. This is my my group chart, my grouped line chart. And then these are my pie charts. Okay, in the second text block, I'm going to include my research. So I need my research document. So I'm going to present my research. So I'm going to state the purpose of my research in my first text block. And I'm going to copy and paste that from the second text block in our lab report. The purpose of this research, am I using all the same thing? No, hold on. There we go. So this sentence is the very first sentence. I'm sorry, it's the second text block in my lab report. So I've stated the purpose of the research in my first text block. And now I'm going to state what 3 brands, state the 3 brands you're testing and what the 3 tests were. And that is actually the first text block in the same lab report. But remember, I have to take my recommendation out because I'm not to a recommendation yet. Then I'm going to copy my materials list from my lab report. And since it continues on to the next page, I'm going to go ahead and move that down. And then I'm going to list my methods last. And all I'm going to do is copy and paste the methods section from my lab report. And make sure that my line spacing is good. Oh, I want to go down one more. I don't like it all scrunched up. There we go. So there's my 3 physical tests. List the materials, list your methods. Okay, now results can be copied and pasted from all 3 short reports, but may need editing. So present the results of your financial research in your first text block. So where's my progress report? So looking at the progress report, this is a part you're going to have to put in my subheading or subtitle, whatever you want to call it. And so I'm looking at my financial report, my financial progress report. And what I know is that of the 3 pins that I'm looking at the table, see it says be sure to include your table. So copy. And I'm going to come down a little. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and move that down too. So looking at this table, remember we're doing results. So according to the research the lowest cost gel pen is, obviously, Zebra Sarasa Dry X1. And the, actually, let me make that, I want to put that all by itself. The most expensive, oh, I knew I forgot something. The lowest cost gel pen is the Sarasa Dry, purchased at Amazon.com. The most expensive gel pen is the Pilot B2B2 pen from Manning's Office Supply. Okay, so that's what I found out. Am I going to put the medium one in here? No, we want to know about the most expensive and the least expensive. We just want to know about the most expensive and the least expensive. So, results. Present the results of your financial result. So this is where you're actually going to type something. Include your table, and then you want to present the results of your experiment in your second text block, and include the results of all three experiments with your photos, and place your photos under each result. So I need my lab report, and that is here. So the results, so results of all three with experiments. There it is. So present the results of your experiments in your second text block. So I'm going to copy and paste that here. There we go. And if you wanted to, you could come here and you could use another subtitle. And I would either boldface these or italicize these. Actually, we're going to redo these in a minute, so let's italicize and not boldface these, because you don't want boldface, boldface, boldface. All right. Include the results of all three experiments with your photos under each result. So my results here are test 1. I may just be able to copy and paste all of this at one time. That would be cool. Copy. And paste. Okay, so here's the results. Where am I? There I am. Performance. Now, because I've already used italics up here, I'm going to just make this just regular. Just regular font. Let's see, do I want to space these out a little better? I do, actually. All right. So I'm going to space that out a little bit better. I'm going to space that out a little bit better. So I can play around with the size of the pictures so that everything fits better. Okay, test 2. Push that onto the next page. Okay, and test 3. Oh, I moved my caption too far away, didn't I? There we go. There we go. One of the things that you need to think about when you do a project like this, you know, especially if you're doing it in your workforce, in your job, is you want to give people enough blank space to make notes. Because the people who are going to be looking at the results of your test, they're the ones who are going to be wanting to make reports and write notes and possibly make their decision based on your notes. All right, so we've included the results of all 3 experiments with photos. Place your photos under each result, and then you need your recommendation. So I'm going to come down here. Actually, I think I'm going to come down one more. Recommendation. And so state what brand you recommend. Y'all let me know when y'all see stuff like this. State what brand you recommend your company buy in your first text block. And I think we have that somewhere. Yes, right here in the letter of transmittal. So there's state what brand you recommend in your first text block, and then explain your reasons for your choice based on the financial results and the primary experiment results. So is recommended because even though it is not try not to say cheapest, the least expensive gel pen, its cost is not prohibitively high. Is not prohibitively high. So it's not the most expensive, and it's not the least, it's not, the cost of it is well within the range of the company. Also, outperforms the other 2 brands by a wide margin. And I need to know what my other 2 brands are. The other 2 brands Zebra, Sarasa, times 1, and Pilot B2B bottle 2. Okay. Make sure when you do, if you are doing like I'm doing and going between documents, if you find an error on one document, always make sure that you go back and make all of the same corrections. I just realized that some of my captions are wrong. Okay, there we go. So here's my recommendation. The Uniball Signo UM151 is recommended because even though it is not the least expensive gel pen, its cost is not prohibitively high, so it's not too expensive. Also, the Uniball Signo UM151 outperforms the other two brands, Zebra Sarasso Dry ×1 and Pilot B2B Bottle 2 by a wide margin. And the reason I put the brand names in here again is because I want to remind my audience, or even inform my audience of what the other two brands are, because there are people who will only read the recommendation. All right, then your third section is your back matter, and back matter starts on its own first page, and you need references. And I'm going to go ahead and insert my page break. You need a references, you need a glossary, and you need an appendix. So this is your back matter. You have three subheadings or subtitles in your back matter. And what's going to go in your references, I'm not going to do mine. This is not real difficult. The hardest part about this is doing the page numbering. It's an alphabetized list of internet sources cited in your report. Do you use MLA formatting rules for each source entry? So you'll need to check Purdue OWL's electronic sources citation formatting and make sure that, so if your front matter ends with page Roman numeral 4, lowercase Roman numeral 4, then this also at the bottom needs to start with lowercase Roman numeral 5. The glossary is an alphabetized list of each of your brand's ingredients, but do not repeat ingredients. You want definitions of each ingredient, and you can Google each of your brands or your products or your product for ingredients, and be sure that you include the information about the safety ingredients in your brand in each definition. And so you need the SDS sheet for each of your either your product or each of your brands. And I put a link here that you can go to and see that. And then for your appendix, you want to start off with screenshots from the customer reviews from the internet. So use reviews from the company's websites and from the sellers' websites. So if you can find reviews, let's say I would go to the Pilot B2P, the Pilot pen web page, and I would look for specific company reviews, customer reviews about the B2B, oh maybe it is B2P Bottle 2 pens pages. I didn't say that right, did I? Hold on, let me back up. I would look specifically for reviews about the Pilot B2P Bottle 2 pen. Or I would go to the seller's website. So like, of course, Amazon.com is famous for its customer reviews of its products. But don't just go to Amazon. Also go to your other two stores' websites. Then you're going to include a copy of all the visuals used in this report and present, so the visuals used in this report, put them in the same order that they're presented in the report, and be sure to include all your captions. And you will need to caption all of your new images. All right, I think that's okay. So that's all for this. So I'm going to show you the rest of my table of contents, how to set up the rest of the table of contents. So my abstract, remember my abstract? I went too far. I set my go back to home. I set my abstract up as heading 1. So everything that's in the middle, don't include the don't include your title, your table of contents and list of figures title. All right. I did not boldface these yet, did I? I don't like to boldface them because it boldfaces them on the table of contents, and I don't like that. I don't think it looks right. All right. So I'm going to use the format painter, and I'm going to format everything. I like there to be plenty of space between my all of my subheadings and what follows them. If you don't care, that's fine. You don't have to. Notice I'm passing up the rest of them. Sometimes I forget to do it, and I have to go back and redo it. Okay, so format painter. Here's my recommendation. Here are my references. Format painter. Glossary. Okay. Somebody's moving something around if y'all can hear that. And my appendix. So now I go up to my table of contents, and I click on it, and I want to click on update table, and I'm going to go ahead and update the entire table, and there we go. Here is all of my pages, and if I click control, hold down control and click on it, it takes me to my discussion. And see, I would probably even go ahead and insert a page break there, because I don't want part of the table to be on this page and part to be on the other page. And then of course I would need to move all this down. And if I move anything, I make sure I go and update my table, because it pushed everything down a little bit. Now if I wanted to, I could go in and I could make each of these so I could make that a heading 2 if it works right. It doesn't always work right for me. So yeah, doing your page numbers is probably going to be the hardest part. It always is. Oh, that is not what I wanted. Okay, so we're going to go back. I knew it wasn't going to work right. So I'm going to put in my list of figures. I need to update my field. I don't need the pictures. Oh, it got rid of the whole thing, didn't it? Go back. Now you'll notice that I'm missing some stuff, and that's probably because my captions are not correct. So I would need to go back in here and I would need to redo my captions. So there's the caption, there's the caption, there's the caption, there's the caption. Well, I'm going to move this down more while I get a chance. I have the chance. There we go. And make that a caption. Push that down. Oh, I lost some captions whenever I copied and pasted stuff over, didn't I? Okay. I'll take care of that. Always be sure that you watch out for that.
Have fun.
Oh, I knew it wasn't going to work. Ah. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go here, update list of illustrations. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go through and try to figure out why these are captions and the other ones are not, or I'm going to try this first. No, it didn't do it. Okay, so I'm going to have to go figure out why those are captions and these are not, because this is a caption. And I might even copy it and then click on my table and come over here. Actually, let me come up here. Okay, I tried to do that. Okay, so at this point, I would go find me a YouTube video that tells me how to do this. Because this is supposed to be a caption and it's not. Put that down a little bit. We want to go down with that a little bit. All right. So that's what I would do. I would be looking to see how to get all of my list of illustrations on my table of list of illustrations. All my graphics on my list of illustrations. I wonder if it would help if I did. No. If I did edit field. Let's see, link, list, no. Okay, no, that's beyond me. Sorry, y'all, that's beyond me. All right. Yes, if at the very least, if you're having trouble figuring it out, you can do, watch, I'll show you. You can do it. You can insert another table of contents. It's gonna mess with everything, but you can do it. Here's the new one. Yeah, it just, never mind. It's not letting me do it. All right, so you're gonna need to YouTube how to do this on your word processing software anyway. Just be sure that you do it correctly if possible. And as a last resort, yes, you can just type them. You can just type it with the numbers. Actually, I would copy and paste it, but be sure that you put what this is. So photo of, and the name of the pen, or the name of your brand. I mean, sorry, yeah, the name of your first brand. There we go. All right. I think this video is way too long, way long enough. Contact me if you have questions, and definitely contact me if you get lost anywhere. And so this, I'm just going to scroll through it and review it real quick. So here's my letter of transmittal. Oh,
I'm just ready.
oh gosh, no, not Gigi. That is my name for my grandson, but we don't do Gigi font. Here's my title page. Here's my abstract, table of contents, hopefully a list of illustrations for everybody, introduction with pictures, background, discussion. Here's my table that presents the cost. Here's my group bar chart, and then here are my 3 pie charts. Here's my purpose. Here is how I studied everything, my list of materials, my methods. So here's my results. That's heading 1. Cost. And again, it talks about what's in the table. Performance. Here's all my test with my pictures. And then here's my recommendation. And then, so here's my back matter, which will be my references, my glossary, and my appendix, which I'm not going to do an example of those. I'll let y'all do those. Do contact me if you have questions about how to do them. And I apologize. This is the longest video I've ever made. Don't try to do this all at one sitting, if at all possible. You know, break it up into little 15-minute increments, or, you know, section increments to make it easier on yourself. And open all 3 of your other documents too, because you're going to need those. Okay. Let me know if you need help. Bye.